Yo, welcome back to Everlasting Summer, episode number 2. Going to do a quick little recap. I just read for 30 minutes last time, and right when we got to the girl, I left us on a cliffhanger. So let's get right back into things. I'm like a depressed guy, and I graduated college, and I got transported on a bus number 410 to a magical summer camp, and now I'm going to talk to this cute girl in a pioneer outfit. So let's just hop right into it. Okay, this music is pretty epic. Also, this is a game made by Russians, so I guess I have to click load game. Okay. So this is the first girl. She almost, I don't know what Russians typically look like. She could be Swedish. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get back into things. Just running, free like the wind, faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by, winking at the galaxies. Running, becoming a pulsar ray, and turning into vestigial radiation, running to the face of the unknown. Run no matter where, as long as it is far away from this place. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear and cum. Human instincts work indifferent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life and, in particular, ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. I felt like that sentence could be left out of the game and we'd still be okay. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking in formal quotes from an encyclopedia, though my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky softcover crime fiction book. A pretty Slavic face, long braids that looked like 2 armfuls of fresh hay, and blue eyes you could drown in. Okay, pioneer girl. Now it said Slavic face, but I kind of want to give her a little, just like a general European, probably Western European. Hi, you must have just arrived. I'm going to reply because I'm a normal person, and my name is, maybe that's Simone, Semyon. Yeah, I didn't look up the pronunciation, I'm sorry. I'll just do my normal voice. Yeah. All right then, welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange, it looked as if I had just a normal girl in front of me. Bah, I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seemed better. But what shall I do next? Try to speak with her as if she were a human, or run away, or what? The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside. A little bit more, and the poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome contents of my skull. All right. What's so funny about that? The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees just started to tremble all loosey-goosey like. Nothing. Great then. Great? What's so great about that? Suddenly a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget about the bus behind me. The fact that it was winter yesterday and summer today, I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept that all this is actually happening. Everything is as it should be. All this is for the best. Would you happen to know? You should go to our camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look. You go straight ahead to the square, then turn left. You'll see several small cabins. She pointed at the gates, as if I knew what was behind them. Dmitrievna is a patronymic, a derivative of a person's father's name, in this case Dmitri, put by Russians after the person's first name as a sign of respect or formal address. Well, you can ask someone where Olga Dmitrievna's cabin is. Got it? Of course I didn't. Well, I've got to go now. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gates. It seemed as if to her I was something ordinary. And all this show with the bus and the travels while awake or asleep were troubling only to me, while everything here is just the way it is supposed to be. Camp leader? Pioneer uniform? What are they doing? A historical reenactment here? I hope I won't find Lenin standing atop an armored car in the square. But even that would not surprise me now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. The sign near the door said clubs. I was about to come closer when the door suddenly opened, and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. She has purple hair, like some sort of anime girl that I don't watch. I've never watched anime. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering for the fate of the whole of mankind, which with a truly universal sorrow. As soon as she sorry, I have a stutter. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze, as if frightened. I froze too, considering what was the best to do, to approach first or wait until she showed some initiative, or maybe run away after all. Although this last option was constantly being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct, at least that's what I'd like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. I love logic. He's biracial. Did you know that? Fun fact. If this instinct played poker against deductive abilities, the outcome would be predetermined. And those deductive abilities, or at least their semblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Okay, we're not picking this one, by the way. This is literally a child's body with it like a barely 18 head. Like, what? I don't know why all the dating simulators have lollies. Like, they want us to pick them. It's ridiculous. Whatever. Sorry. What is this music? Kind of like it. Suddenly somebody jumped out of nearby bushes. A girl wearing a bright red t-shirt with USSR written on it. That says CCCP. Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from a distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls. The one at the gates and this girl at the door of the clubs. At last, I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I called her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something with wildly waving, wacky inflatable arm flailing two-mans. Her arms. The other girl, in turn, seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I would have probably continued to observe their amusing dialogue, but the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of the first girl's face. This something turned out to be a grasshopper. Eee! The first girl squealed. She must not be too keen on insects, as she instantly rushed off towards the place where Lenin presumably made his speech about the workers' and peasants' revolution. That is to say, towards the square. The USSR glanced at me, grinned playfully, and dashed after her. Not a bad start to the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am. Besides that, there are some kids here role-playing as pioneers. And as far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seemed so real, if a little embellished, that I was starting to think that in fact my previous life could have been just a dream. And what am I supposed to do now? I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and staring aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. That's when I recalled myself rolling on the grass weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct. When all energy for whimpering and self-pitying is used up, the body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option because out of the blue I found the determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. I followed the path to the left, on the right side of which stood small cabins, apparently the homes of the local pioneers. Actually, they looked quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, epic. I have never been part of its children's organizations, neither the pioneers nor even the younger October children. Okay, so I guess I didn't know that fact. Maybe when there was the Cold War era, apparently they had like Hitler youth camps, but they were called pioneers, aka like Russian youth camps. Epic. October children as well. Maybe that's like Red October, like that whole book. Okay, I'm learning stuff about history. I imagine the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks. Wake up call at 6 o'clock played by a siren. 1 minute to make your bed, then joining the formation at the drill square. Or wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Suddenly, something struck me on the back. I staggered but remained on my feet, turned around, and prepared to fight heroically for my life.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
Okay, looks like we got a little tsundere action here. I got water this time, so this is pretty epic. I wish I knew the Russian word for bad, so I just don't end up saying baka every time. Or idiot, rather. I wish I knew the Russian word for idiot, so I could say, instead of baka,
Тупой. Тупой.
But all I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise. Pick up your jaw off the ground, baka. I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative, to say the least. Like all the girls I had met here before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. False. She is a tomboy, she should be cherished, worshipped, loved, and bear my child. So, this character and my values do not align right off the bat. I'm saying that right now. This is probably the girl I would choose, by the way, as of right now. New here, are you? Fine. See ya, baka. She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. See, that's the kind of girl I need. She hits me. She hits me in the back and then calls me baka. Like, I need that. Frick. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. The most interesting thing was that even this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger. Except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. At last, I managed to make it to the square. There was no Lenin on an armored car, although one could easily expect something like this after all that happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read, Genda. Must be some big future in the party. Must be some big figure in the party. I'm dumb. There were some small benches at the sides. It's quite pleasant here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the left or to the right? To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right? And
new studies available on Prolific.
Hey guys, there's new studies available on Prolific. Thought I'd let you know. And why am I going there anyway? Ah, right. I've decided to pretend to be normal. So, to the right. Through a small grove, I came out at a pier. A pier appeared. I must have taken a wrong turn. Pioneer girl, who we don't know. Hey, wrong way. I'm assuming it's the Swedish one. I turned towards the voice. Oh, I was right, assuming it was her. Yeah, she's... A Swedish girl right now is tied in first with Tsundere, so yeah, just thought I'd let you know. That first girl stood before me, her bosoms exposed. Now what did I tell you? Take a left at the square, wasn't it? She had changed from her pioneer uniform into a bikini. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia. Actually, my full name's Slavanya, but everyone calls me Slavia. So you can too. This music is funky. Yeah. I still felt a bit confused, so I could not come up with more meaningful answers. And what's your name? It felt like she could see right through me. Yeah. I'm gonna start saying Markapi, just so I can get more in character. Yeah. Markapi. Nice to meet you, Markapi. Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait here a minute? I'm going to change and we'll go to Olga Dmitrievna together. Agreed? Agreed. After this exchange, she ran off. I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in such weather there was nothing wrong in getting my feet wet. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming and processing everything that had happened. If this is some kind of conspiracy, it's a weird one. Even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event. Some entirely incomprehensible random event. Shall we go? She changed very quickly. Slavia was standing behind me, dressed in the pioneer uniform again. Let's go. I've been here for a very short time, but all the people I've met, she looks the least suspicious. However, the fact is already suspicious itself. We walked to the square. I hit the scroll wheel again. That's unepic. We walked to the square. Yep. Oh, yeah. The USSR girl and the girl who hit me on the back were there, chasing each other. Is that some kind of game they're playing? Oliana, enough running. I'll tell everything to Olga Dmitrievna. So she's really young, so I'm gonna go with a higher pitched voice here. Okay, let me get some wah-wah. AKA the lolly voice I use for all the lollies. Aye, aye, Captain! I decided not to question Slavia for a while about what was going on or the local residents. Better meet with this Mysteria Olga Dmitrievna first. Sounds like she's the boss here. We walked past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat beer barrels, while others looked more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of a smallish one-story cabin. It's kind of pretty. It looked like an artist's painting. The faded paint, chipping here and there with age, was sparkling with the sun. The window shutters, slightly ajar, were swaying almost unnoticeably in the wind, and huge lilac bushes were growing at the sides. It seemed as if the ramshackle hut was drowning in a storm of purple silk, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the troop leader's home. What are you standing around for? Let us go. Slavia snapped me out of my daydreaming. Disembodied voice here, it's green, so I'm guessing it's another girl. And stop teasing Lena already. What the fuck? Rena. What was that? Why? Okay, I guess we'll keep going. Sounds like there's someone inside. Indeed, a moment later, the door swung open and Uliana ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl came out next. Don't let it bother you, Lena. So her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Rena, at least. Maybe that's some sort of like Russian myth or fairy tale about a summer camp girl named Rena. I don't know. I'm not Russian. I'm Slovakian. But I don't... Instead of finishing her sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason, I felt like turning and following her with my eyes, but Slavia said, "Come." She knows the way to my heart. Come. We entered the cabin, and they had a picture of the Blue Man Group, but instead of the group, it was just one singular Blue Man. Indeed, it looked like something similar to what I imagined. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe, and a bag of cum used by B. Ross to heal injuries brought to a public gym. A high school gym, even. Sorry, I just had a flashback to something. Nothing special, but at the same time, it felt home-like and cozy. Cozy spelled with a Z, right? In English? Can someone confirm? Although this room was almost in the same state of disorder as my own flat. Oh, okay. So right now it's tied with Sylvia, the tsundere girl whose name we don't know, and this girl right here, because she's pretty cute. Okay. The girl standing near the window who appeared to be about 25 years old. How do you determine that? Like, 25 versus like, I don't know. Seems weird to say that. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and a good body. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful. So this is the camp leader. I'm gonna give her a little sassier voice here. You're finally here? Oh, excellent. I feel like it should have been a happier the first time. My name is Olga Dmitrievna. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you. I'm Markapi. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer. We've been expecting you since early morning. You've been expecting me? See, I assumed she would be like meaner, but she's really nice, so I'm gonna change your voice a little. Yes, of course. And when does the next bus come? And why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? Guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I'd prefer. And I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason. Just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Our mailing address, I mean. I wanted to send a letter to my parents to tell them I got here fine. For some reason, I had the desperate idea that if I played along, I would find something out. Oh, but your parents called just half an hour ago. Sent their regards to you. Now that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. She gave me a sweet, spontaneous smile. Why not? We don't have a phone here. But they just called 30 minutes ago. Something's not adding up. Then how could my parents make a call to here? I've just got back from the district central town. I talked with them there. Ah, so that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. She kept the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. Ah, the classic dating sim where you only get a week. I've seen this one before. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I would get no answers anyway. All this time, Slavia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our convo. Oh, we need to find a uniform for you. I've got absolutely no desire to put on pioneer shorts or wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in summer isn't a great idea either. Right. Thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a winter coat and winter boots in such heat. Rightio. I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening. Oh, I won't. I don't miss meals. Gotta get that muscle protein synthesis, you know what I'm saying? About every 3 to 4 hours, 40 grams here and there. Evenly spaced throughout 6 meals. Now we're talking. Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. Big time rushed out. I ended up alone with Slavia. I must go too. Got things to do. Take a walk, look around the camp a bit. See you in the evening. I feel like I changed your accent there somehow. I don't know what I did. Ah, that's good, Wawa. If there is no threat or catch to this, then if there is no threat or catch to this, then this reality, as embodied by Slavia, becomes more and more appealing. That was a very weird sentence. I'm sorry you had to be there for that. For the first time today, I realized that it was awfully hot here. Well, I am in a winter coat and winter boots, so yeah. Although obviously my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed. My pullover followed it. I was now wearing only the shirt. That's much better. All I could do for now was follow their advice and go look around the camp. I'll try to find something out in the meantime. Passing the local residential district, I saw a pioneer guy coming my way. There's guys here? Not epic. Thought this was gonna be a harem. And it really was a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there were men even in the kingdom of Amazons. Okay, a guy voice that's not my own. Hello, you're new here. You must be Markapi, right? And how do you do? Everyone knows already. I'm Electro Nick, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Electro Nick was a robot character appearing in a popular Soviet film and book series. He looked like an exact copy of a school kid called Sergei Cheezkov. Alright, I'm glad they're giving these Russian translation notes. It's also a nice flute song we got going in the background. Electro Nick, the real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Alright. Olyana also calls me Cheesy. Cheesy? On toast with mushrooms. Because my last name is Cheezkov. I see. Let me show you around. I accepted this offer as it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. We ended up at the square again, as if this place was all there is to this camp. Lena was sitting on one of the benches, reading some book. Electro Nick confidently approached her. Hello, Lena. Meet the new guy, Markapi. He started briskly. Hello. Well, you could say we've already met in a way. Yes. She looked away from the book a moment, glanced at me, blushed, and went back to reading, as if not noticing that we were still here. Alright, let's go on. I was at first surprised that meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought it was better this way. Electro Nick's vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Let's go. Next, we came to a building which I instantly identified as a canteen. And this here. I know, this is where you consume organic food. Yeah, something like that. Hello. Our tsundere princess here. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. At the sight of her, my joking mood vanished in the blink of an eye. Really, now is not the best time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he's quite hilarious. First, I need to figure out what's what here, or at least where I am. Oh, Electro Nick looks very disgruntled that he sees the tsundere. Her? Over there? That's Eliza D. Be careful around her. Give her the D, if you know what I'm saying. A dictionary, because her vocab is horrendous. Burn. He spoke in a whisper. I'm glad I whispered that line. Oh, diva. Diva means two in Russian. Because diva has two cheeks, she slaps them and then she lets out that big ol' fart.
This.
I'm gonna insert that clip. If I don't insert that clip here of diva just farting.
Nerf this.
Like a huge monumental fart, you have to post in the comments, hey, Markapi Sue, you forgot to include that horrendous diva fart. Okay? Thank you.
Nerf this.
The whole nickname sounds exactly like Tooch in Russian, a reference to the late Tooch anonymous image board. All right? Okay. Electro Nick is talking. His voice goes like this. Don't ever risk calling her Diva Che. She doesn't like that. What did you say? What did you call me? She must have heard him. In the blink of an eye, Eliza jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. All right, you'll manage from here onwards. Electro Nick took to his heels. I'm going with Electro Nick. He's very friendly. I'm coming with him. I decided that I'd not wish to come across. Oh, dang it. So if I could have. Oh, dang it. I kind of want to go back. Can I go back? I'm staying. I used my scroll wheel for good. Do nothing. Please take me. Take me. Eliza, running past, stopped for a moment and growled. I'll deal with you later. Maybe I should have gone with Nick. I'm not going back. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I added a forced, guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made no reply and carried on chasing Electro Nick. Do I want to chase after him? Because now I'm left alone. I don't know. I'll stick with my decision for now. Looks like I'll have to kill time alone waiting for dinner. I decided to go east. I thought you said west. At least in the direction where east would be in my world. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. A game was in full swing here. I guess watching it for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood and teen years, I was not a bad ball player myself, and even thought of going professional, but a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of uncertain chance in the game. Kids of different ages were running around the pitch. I could see a boy of about 10 and a girl of about 14 years old. A girl. Hey, that's Uliana. Alright, so she plays football. What's so surprising? She seems a restless one after all. I was standing quite far from the pitch, but she still noticed me. Okay, it looks like we did make the wrong choice because we ended up with a lolly here. Now I have to do the voice. Hey, you! Uliana shouted. Wanna play? I didn't know how to answer. On the one hand, running around for 10 minutes is no big deal. On the other hand, any wrong move in my situation can be my final one. But in any case, my attire wasn't suitable for this weather. If I played in winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. And playing barefoot without jeans would be simply unethical. Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, turned around, and walked back. I was followed by Uliana's screams about my pants, or about me being a pansy, or something like that. ... Evening was falling, making me feel tired and empty after a day wasted with no real purpose. I came back to the square, sat down on a bench, and gave an exhausted sigh. I'd better sit here and wait for dinner. After all, it's easier to search for answers when you're not hungry. They do give the people food here, right? They do give food to the people. Oh, because it's Russia and like they don't give you food. It's kind of funny. You know, it's curious how the simplest human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. For example, I feel hungry now, so I care much less about where I am or what is happening to me. Could great people also be affected by this? And in that case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? I can only conclude that I am not a great person, and it does not really matter which mechanism I serve as a gear in society, the Matrix or a weird pioneer camp. My thoughts were interrupted by the sounds of bells chiming from a loud speaker on a light pole. Must be the dinner call. I headed towards the canteen. It was a good thing that now I knew where it was. And before we go to dinner, we're going to save the game and come back later. Because that is the end of episode 2. And we will have dinner in episode 3. Yeah. Quick episode recap. We actually saw girls and I got to do voices and I didn't just read in my monotone voice for 30 minutes. So that was pretty epic. This episode 2 waves above episode 1 in terms of interesting dialogue and all that. So, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, please help me find a girlfriend. And bye-bye.